He's a very complex man, incredibly driven to fulfill this sense of personal destiny that he has, but within that, it takes an enormous amount of time and energy, as anyone can relate to, that's engaged in fulfilling a sense of their own personal obsession. And what comes with that was an unfortunate tendency to neglect his family and to his personal life and sometimes his own safety and health. So that was an interesting thing that I was interested in exploring. And then the other side of one of the big themes of this film, one of the big driving motivations of Fawcett, was this sense that he felt really oppressed and marginalized by society. We have this horrible tendency to rank in society, whether it be the British class system or the American wealth system or whatever it may be. And so he had a tendency to really reject that and wanted to go and be in an environment where everything was a little bit more even and could just stand on his own 2 feet and live a less civilized and more civilized sort of lifestyle. And we talked about that a lot while we were making the film, and that was 18 months ago we wrapped. And obviously with the things that have been going on in the world in the last 18 months and the politics of America and France and England, it seems even more relevant than even when we were making the film.
When you have a story with such a magnetic main character and someone who goes to the jungle and fights in World War I, and there's an epic scope to his life, and that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I was, part of me loved it because we got to shoot in such a beautiful place. But you realize pretty quickly that you are the invader, a world really taken over by insects and animals, and humans are the invaders. So it got a bit troublesome being sort of feeding time for all the mosquitoes. It's funny. Unfortunately, I don't think very much has changed. That's part of why I found the story interesting, because when we make a movie that takes place in the past, we're not only talking about the past, we're making a comment on the present. I don't think anything has changed, and sadly, I think that point has been proven pretty clearly.
I knew nothing until I'd got the script and the book, and then I tried to find as much as I could on her, but there wasn't a lot because women weren't worthy of being documented in those days. But she was a suffragette and a mother and an amazing, amazing woman, and I really love her. Well, it's a very different world. Women are more emancipated, still not as far as they should be, in my opinion. Certainly where we live, they are. But I think there's always a dilemma between motherhood and working and being a wife and striking a balance. I think it's complicated for women because they feel the responsibility of keeping that together. But it's definitely a different world to how it was then. I admire her. I admire certain qualities that I would like to develop more in myself. I can relate to aspects. She's very modern. She's awesome. She's better than I am, but then hopefully she'll rub off.
It is so Percy Fawcett, who's the main explorer and has the plan. I'm his aide-de-camp. I went with him on pretty much every single mission he went on in his life, and just showed a lot of loyalty to him. And yeah, that's kind of just basically his right-hand man.
So the film is set in a time where white colonialism was the social. How can we
I mean, I think that's the difficult thing about the movie, because it's kind of the colonialism of that time. It just was so different in how those characters felt it. I mean, it really felt like it's the very beginning of something. So it's kind of, no one could have predicted what would happen afterwards. These are just guys who just kind of went with no particular plan. They just wanted to explore and to see what was there, like what was in their eyes the unknown. Yeah, so it's a difficult line to cross, a difficult path to walk when you're making the movie, because it's kind of, the contemporary idea of it is very different. It's beautiful. I mean, one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to. Yeah, it's like the rainy season and stuff, but I mean, if you get to stay in your swimming trunks every single day for 2 months and you go on a boat to work, I mean, it's pretty amazing.
thinking that's not
She's got no choice, has she? Frankly.